So we've got From the World of John Wick, Ballerina starring Anna de Armas. Now, I'm a big fan of the John Wick franchise, and when they announced they were going to be doing a spinoff with starring a new character, I wouldn't say I was excited about it, but I was curious to see kind of what they did, to see if they kind of built on that existing world that was established in John Wick. My interest was definitely piqued. I went into it with an open mind, hoping this to see if maybe they recaptured some of the magic that they got in the original John Wick. When you go see a John Wick movie, you want to go see great action and great fight scenes, and this movie delivers that. The action in this movie is excellent. The fights are perfectly choreographed. Every fight scene is unique and different. In general, the fights just felt very well thought out. I think Keanu Reeves as John Wick is probably in more of this movie than you think. It's not just a throwaway cameo. He actually kind of plays a role throughout the movie. It's still very much Anna de Armas' movie, and he doesn't detract from that, but he is in a good chunk of this movie. One of the things I personally love the most about the John Wick franchise is like the world building that they do. You've got the Continental, the table, you've got all these different factions and different families and just the coins and seeing how everything kind of works. And while there are elements of that throughout the movie, the Continental, the coins, that underground world, I feel like it didn't really add anything. It didn't really give us a new perspective on how any of these things work. I was really hoping to get some more added lore of this underground secret society and how these things kind of work. And this movie doesn't really add anything to the lore. My biggest problem with this movie is that it's not particularly well written. The plot is thin, it's predictable, the dialogue is a little rough, sometimes just plain bad and cringy. And to me, it really just held the movie back from being pretty good to being excellent or like to that next level that the John Wick films usually are. As great as the action scenes are, and they are great, the movie doesn't really do a great job of getting you invested in what's actually going on. The action scenes don't really hit as hard as they would if you were otherwise engaged with these characters and what they were doing, what they're trying to accomplish. And this isn't me trying to pretend like the John Wick proper movies are these, complexly written movies. They're not. But they do a better job of getting you on board with the main character, their cause, and it makes the action more relevant to what's going on. In the first John Wick, his wife dies, they kill his puppy, they get you on board immediately. And this movie doesn't really have that. I mean, this is obviously a story of revenge. You can see that from the trailers, but they don't really do a great job of making you be as invested as you were when they killed that puppy in the first John Wick. Sometimes it felt like the creators of this movie came up with a bunch of different action set pieces and fight scenes that they wanted to incorporate. And then from there, tried to string a plot together to kind of piece everything together. Now, I don't know that that's what they did, but it felt like that's what they did. So all in all, I think this movie was okay. There's some really, really strong aspects of the movie. Visually, it looks really good. The action scenes were very well choreographed and executed. I think ultimately it was kind of brought down a bit by a thin plot and a so-so story. I think it's still worth giving a shot if you like the John Wick movies. If you just like maybe mindless action movies, I think this will be right up your alley. But those are just my thoughts. Have you had a chance to see Ballerina yet? If so, hop down in the comments. Let me know what you thought. And with that said, I'm out of here, guys.